I've got two teasers for you. The first is related to NIO with its sub-brand release coming in May. That's right, not even 2 months away from this time as I record this. We're almost to the end of March after all. And the second is the NIO stock price. Hang on. Let's start with Sean over at the Telescope. If you haven't been to his YouTube channel, I'll drop the link, a link in the description to this video. I meant to share this last week when he first released it, but I didn't get it out. And I've highlighted him before back in December of 2022. This guy used to work for NIO. He's really well versed with what's going on in China, and I love his take on things. It's really nice, refreshing to get his sense of things. So I'll stop talking and we'll get a little of his take now.
Developed by NIO, the Envoy L60 of course can battery swap, but it can only swap in generation 3 and 4 stations because the Gen 1 and 2 stations cannot host batteries with different battery sizes. All NIO's existing batteries, regardless of capacity, all have the same outer dimensions and roughly the same weight. Don't worry, most of the stations built in last year are already Gen 3 and all stations currently in planning are Gen 3 minimum. As of today, there are 1,031 Gen 3 stations in operation.
That tells me the infrastructure is in place for adoption of the sub-brand as soon as it's released. That's a big deal. I think so anyway. I want to hear from others, though. Drop it in the comments. And now let's jump over. This is someone I've been kind of watching. I haven't followed him per se on Twitter, but I've liked a couple of things because he's a trader and he's looking at the short term, looking for things. And he's been talking about NIO, also the Hang Seng Index. But this is an interesting post. I had to like it when I saw it because, again, like I said, I'm just kind of watching this. I have always been sort of the long term, but this is interesting, some of what he's sharing. And if you look at some of the kind of time frames, and he even says it's hard to call time frames, especially with NIO, but it's kind of interesting where he says June option chain very bullish, and you know, we're in this potentially huge falling wedge pattern, but at the same time we've got some fundamental things like the release of the sub brand coming in May. You know, I just think the second half of 2024 could be almost a polar opposite to what we've seen with the stock price action for NIO in the first half. But of course, we've got to wait and see what happens. There's no predictions for me. I'm just kind of tracking and sharing what I can along the way. But let me wrap this thing and get up and out. I did not intend to do 2 videos, and it's Sunday and I'm doing 2 videos. So let me wrap this and get it up. Thanks. Drop a like if you appreciate the content. I sure appreciate that. Thanks. Have a great day.